Well, I guess I go first. Some of you already know I'm Jaime Angelo. I work for Catholic Charities. Thank you, Ken, for the introduction. And I'm the program manager of the Responsible Landlord Engagement Initiative that we're going to talk today. So I have to introduce also my staff, Jeanette Rosales. She has been at the table, and she was very early here to set up. Thank you, Jeanette. What can I say about the Responsible Landlord Engagement Initiative? It is because of you. I mean, you put it together. It's a community initiative that works because concerned residents have issues with problem properties. So about 4 years ago, really, we started the initiative, and so far we have had 128 cases coming to us. Not all of them have been resolved as we would like them to be resolved, with a comprehensive and understanding from the landlords who are not ready to work diligently to solve the issues. But we had a good chunk of 50 cases up to now that were positively resolved. Some of the other cases are in still on the works. We don't tell the community that submit a case that we are not gonna come back to a case if the case is stalled or the case is not taken care of. This wouldn't have been possible, the Responsible Landlord Engagement Initiative wouldn't have been possible with the support of what we call the stakeholders. And United Neighborhoods Santa Clara County, since the very beginning, embraced this initiative and said, we really want to support the initiative, and Ken jumped on board with his board of directors. The police department has been amazing on this. Captain David Honda at the time, 4 years ago, he became the first liaison, and he did an amazing work getting to understand what the benefits of the initiative was, and how not only, and this is kind of the main part of Rlei, is yes, we try to resolve the punctual issues within a specific landlord, but what it comes out of it is the most important part, is people learning about how together can they really take ownership of the neighborhood. And we have so many cases on those 50 cases in which associations or new groups created because of a problem property are understanding the power of being together and working together to resolve an issue. Because yes, the initiative is meant to help them organize themselves, and through us, contact the property owner. And if it's good response, great. But what after that? What comes after that? Let's assume the case is resolved. Basically, the empowerment that came out of that effort is what is the long-lasting benefit. The big impact is for the group to become so powerful that if anyone comes back to that place, they will immediately jump in and say, hey, this is us, and we want you to know that we are looking after your property, and we're looking after a good resident on your property. Because I have a question to ask is, who do you think is responsible for the property they own? Who is responsible finally? And I have asked this question, and according to the California ownership law, you're responsible. If you own a piece of land, you're responsible. If you have a building on that piece of land, you're responsible. If you if you live in that piece of property, you're responsible. And if you rent it, you're responsible for whoever lives in that property. And some people just forget about that. So the fact that a landlord, a property owner, is recognizing that they have a duty with their neighbors is the most important part. And the enforcers of that is not the police, it's not the city, it's the neighbors. If we understand that, we're in a pretty good shape. So Ken asked me about talking about that importance of what Rlei is bringing to the community. The details on the case, how we take a case and all that stuff, I can answer later. But I think my time is up on the first part, and I will let Esther here take it on, or Captain Fong actually, take it on what, how do we work with the Sjpd.
I think there was a few claps until I think I interrupted here. But anyways, I believe I was going to be next, but to be quite honest with you, we sort of mixed it up a little bit. So I'm going to actually have Captain Fong speak, and then I will follow him.
I love surprises. You know, you're expecting to be the third speaker, you're okay, and then, hey, you're on. So if I'm stuttering a little bit, give me a moment. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Gabby, I didn't hear you. Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias. Gong hei fa choi, I guess. I don't know how you say it. My name is Johnson Fong, and I want to take a moment to acknowledge some people. Kenny here, thank you very much. Your beautiful wife, thank you for making all this happen. But there's some really important people in this room that you may not know. Jonathan, where you at? Alaska, stand up. Come on, man, stand up. This guy here, okay, you sit down. Don't get all cocky on me. Don't sit down, all right? That's enough, okay? Come on. This guy here, he works for free. He's a professional by day, but at night, he organizes this community right here in that room, a little bit over. They talk, they communicate, and they get things rolling. With the police, with these folks, with those folks. And there's a reason why I'm doing all this. Greg Beck, where you at, Greg Beck? Stand up, come on, come on. You're about my size. Come on, you gotta stand up, okay? Okay, don't get cocky. Go ahead and stand up. Go ahead and stand up. Don't get cocky on me, man. You know, Greg is another one of those individuals. I don't think you get paid for all that you do, right? I mean, you probably threw one of the best national night out party in the whole city. And I've been to like, probably about, I don't know, quite a few of those, dozens and dozens, and that's one of the best, and I know you work your you-know-what off to get the community to connect, to communicate, and to collaborate. Again, there's a theme here, and it will get to Rlei, because by the time I'm done with all these people, okay, you already told me for the 5th time, all right? I just want to put a quick shout out to 24th William Street. We did that about, what, 8, 9 years ago, right? Same thing, same thing. Rlei does the same thing. We connect, we talk, we communicate, and you know what? We'll get things rolling. What's going on here? Is there a house that needs to be addressed? Is there an issue that we could utilize the police? And if police officers is perhaps not the right resource, maybe crime prevention. Maybe they could come in with a softer approach. And then maybe this is not the right venue or the right resource to address, or perhaps Rlei. This guy here, he's a giant killer. He really is. I mean, I'm coming across gang houses, drug houses, and sometimes law enforcement is bound by law, bound by policies, and we just can't go in and kick in doors and remove these people. So what I gotta do is I'm Jaime. You know, I got this house off of Patton, and they're slaying dope, they're flying drones in the middle of the street, they're giving the middle finger to our community members that live out here, and we, the police, cannot be up there all the time. Can you help me out? He goes out there, he finds a champion. And the first time I heard the term champion, I thought I'm a champion. No. He finds a real champion in the community, like Greg, like John, that's got a day job, and say, you know what, at nighttime, on my time off, on my days off, on my weekends, let me organize a little bit. Let me talk to my people, because your community know who you are, John. Your neighbors know who you are, Greg. Immediately, they trust you. And you're gonna say, hey, you know what, I got this wonderful resource known as Rlei. And don't worry about the acronyms. That's just a fancy word to say, hey, I got some resources to address troublesome tenants and or absentee landlords and etc. Wonderful, wonderful resource. You know, I support Rlei 100%. You know, they do phenomenal work. And frankly, we're on the same page. We just do things a little bit differently. And from time to time, Rlei cannot fix the issue. And what he does when the community leaders hook up and communicate, collaborate with Jaime, they have a constant message. And they're saying, hey, police officers, captain, listen, these people, I think they're doing A, B, C, and D. And you know what? As your divisional captain, I'm the highest ranking official police officer in your division. It's my job to find the resources and police officers to address this issue. Case in point, there's an address off a tenant, a little bit far, and they were a little bit frustrated, like, hey, we're moving as fast as we can, but the process takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight. We have to be patient. But during the interim, these folks are continuously messing with the community, doing crazy stuff, and I put my best lieutenant on the job, Lieutenant Sullivan. He's not here today because he's enjoying himself with his wife and kids on his day off. But that guy, man, he worked every day, every night, and before you know it, he arrested that person that lives in tenant for having 3 explosives, 3 bombs. Now, granted, they're not the kind that will blow up this whole building, but definitely will blow up your hand. And in that kind of environment, that is a felony in the state of California. We arrested him. We arrested his girlfriend, and we towed his car. And we clearly illustrated to him, hey, listen, I don't know what you're doing here. Your community don't like you. And you know, we're very honest people, cops. Hey, they don't like you. They don't like you doing this stuff, whatever you guys are doing, whether it's smoking marijuana, making bombs. I know what you're doing, but knock it off. As we're driving him to jail. And we put the pressure on. We put it on. Now we know. Now we're like, okay, you're smoking dope, driving recklessly, and you're making bombs. We need to be on top of you. And where are they at now? Jaime, where are they? What happened to those people?
Well, they got out of there. They're out of there. And the property owner finally, recognized that that he had been an absentee landlord, but with all the pressure that the neighborhood put, the police put, everybody, the house is now for rehab and repairs, and hopefully it will be a nice family living there pretty soon.
So Jaime said it like in about 15 words. I'll say it in two. Those tenants, in the words of John Miller, adios, pelota! Home run. Thank you to Rlei.
Again, thank you so much. Oops, it turned out. Great. Again, my name is Esther Mota, and I'm actually the crime prevention supervisor with the San Jose Police Department. And actually, about 2.5 years ago, I had actually had spent most of my career with Parks, Recreation, Neighborhood Services. And I did a lot of work within the Mayor's Game Task Force, did a lot of work in the intervention, and then again, also with prevention. But really, a lot of my work was in intervention, and I actually see some of the city folks that are here. So, but I bring that up only because, you know, I've always seen, as far as when it comes to violence, you know, I've always looked at the community, and I've always looked at families, and I've always looked at youth, in the sense of that we really have to take a look at things on a continuum. So I'm always constantly, when I'm problem solving, I'm always looking at, do we need to look at it as prevention, even early prevention, right? And is there intervention or suppression or even the aftercare, right? So when I look at things, I really take a look at it across the board. And so about 2.5 years ago, there was an opportunity to actually apply for the position, because as you know, the department and our chief of police, Garcia, actually really started to take a look to see where can I actually put civilians into a position where a police officer was. So I was very honored to be able to take on that position. And so with that, When I first started with crime prevention, there was only